Yo, you guys, this is Blacklist of the Abyss, and you're watching my review for World Trigger Chapter 66. Alright, and it turns out that that concept I was talking about last week that Enidor doesn't understand, it was the room itself. Though that doesn't mean that he still understands Trion bodies, but for now, it's just the room in general that he doesn't understand. Though he does realize that the room itself is responsible for them constantly um, healing, so he tries to attack it, but doesn't do anything. So they're kind of in a stalemate now because neither of the sides can hurt each other. So Suicide Squad can't hurt Enidor, Enidor can't hurt Suicide Squad. So Enidor is kind of just stuck here, all right? Unless he finds the control panel. Um, but they're kind of just in a stalemate right now. However, while Enidora can't really do anything, Suicide Squad can do something because all these other dudes are watching this go down and they're analyzing Enidora and his trigger, and they're trying to figure out how exactly he does what he does, what they can do to stop him, where they can find the Trion relay, whatever, blah blah blah, supply set, all that stuff, the brain and the heart of the Trion body. They want to try and find out how exactly they can defeat him by attacking those. All right. And the person who is going to end up defeating him, or at least trying to defeat him, fighting him, is Shinoda, which is pretty cool. You just see him give control over to Kido and the one girl, what's her name, Sawamura, something like that, and then he just like walks away. It was pretty cool. Um, so yes, Shinoda's going to end up fighting Enidora at some point. So I'm excited for that. I really am. Um, One thing I need to mention though is that Border is not the only group that is watching what's going on. All right, all the dudes from After Crater are watching too. All right, and Mira, as she's watching all this, is saying she says that things have shifted to the third line. All right, which immediately I thought of timelines, as in like future, past, well, future, really. Well, past too, but in this case, future. Like a Jean can see the, yeah. Um, I don't, I don't, can she, like, can a trigger have multiple abilities like that? Like one specific trigger? Well, maybe her trigger does one thing while she has a side effect that lets her see the future as well, just like Jean can. But then would she see the same exact timelines? Well, probably. Yeah, so maybe she has a side effect that's the same as Jean's. Then her trigger is she said it herself. Her trigger lets her transport things via these portals. Like for instance, she made one to get Ron Benign out and back to the ship. She said she could make one to bring Enidora back, and um, she offered to, but then High Rate said no. Um, she said she could do the same for Visa and Hughes too, I think. So we know her trigger can like open these gates and portals and things. But I'm just going to assume that she has a side effect, and that side effect allows her to see the future, just like Jean can. All right. Um, and lastly, in this chapter, we get the Lord of the Rings, Mr. Visa. All right, and he's taking on Yuma. All right, and he's pretty much countering everything Yuma throws at him, whether it's bound, chain, bolt, boost. It doesn't matter. Mr. Visa counters it all. All right, and then he even cuts Yuma's left arm off. So this is. It looks like it. This is my left arm. Right there. There you go. He cuts his left arm off. Oh, his left. It was like here. You know what I mean. All right, not the whole arm, but yeah. All right. It's not looking too good for Yuma because Yuma is clearly not capable of defeating Visa easily, I'll say. In the end, he might be able to win, but right now, like, it's not going to be easy, all right? Right now, Visa is beating him, all right? Um, he ends up talking a little bit too much, though. He says something to try and fool Yuma, but Yuma can detect lies with the side effects, so he talked a little too much, and because of that, Yuma kind of knows what's going on now, and he realizes that Osamu and Shika are in legitimate danger. So he sends Replica over there to help them, which I don't know what Replica can do. Maybe Replica can transform like freaking Panther Lily from Fairy Tail. I don't know, who knows. But Replica's gonna try and do something, alright? Because at the very end of the chapter, Mira uses her trigger to send in the last 7 mod rabbits. So they're in danger. Karsuma's probably gonna, do something for a little bit, but he can't beat 7 of those things by himself. So Osami's probably gonna join in. Chika too. The other trainees are pretty much useless. Well, not useless, but pretty much. Uh, so they can't win. Replica's gotta have something like some type of transformation or something that where he can help, or it. I don't know. I assumed it was a he, but I don't really know. Um, things are picking up. I mean, things have been picking up the entire arc, but I'll wait for that to stop ringing. Okay, there we go. All right, so you see the jump cut there, so I had to wait. Um, but yeah, I don't even remember where I was now. Seriously. Well, anyway, whatever. I guess I'll just wrap up then. Um, chapter was good. I'd give it an 8.5 out of 10. I thought it was pretty good because we got the little stuff at the end with Visa, with the Lord of the Rings, Mr. Visa, or we got the stuff with him, and Yuma at the end, Yuma figuring out what's going on. We got the stuff in the middle with Mira, kind of hinting at the fact that she has a side effect. Uh, Hiring was just saying, hey, let's just finish things up here. No need to stay here any longer. So we got that. And yeah, plus we got the stuff with Enendora and Suicide Squad and the plan. So yeah, I'll go give this chapter an 8.5 out of 10. I thought it was pretty good. That was pretty good. So yeah, it was still kind of set up. So yeah, I'll give it an 8.5 out of 10, and that's about it, you guys. Rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.